You look like people.
I look retired.
Yeah, totally. You look like people ask
Let's
you.
get retired in here.
Let's get
retired
oh boy.
in here.
Few issues with that.
Is it possible? Is it possible to improve on perfection? Man's dead.
Welcome to the Dueling Beardos Comedy Podcast.
Are you still writing it down?
Long. Yeah, dude. I'm just gonna pretend
Dude, just
that I'm
give
reading.
it. Yeah, then
just gonna
don't
do that.
worry about it.
Yeah.
It's fine. So I unearthed the old Dueling Beardos graphic that we had, and updated it and put it on the table here.
Yay!
So, yay! They're not gonna hear this. I didn't record that track.
It was a little kid.
Oh wait, maybe
Group of kids going yay.
Yeah, it
with
might.
Clapter.
It might be in there from the old size 10 soundboard.
It's like imagine a group of little kids clapping after the teacher announces we've switched to skim milk.
Oh man. So this is the Dueling Beardos podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Bjorn RG.
And I'm your other host, Todd Basil.
Yeah. And I did notice though when I was printing out this graphic when I found it.
Yeah.
I did not update it since we started our show. God, when did we start Dueling Beardos? What year was that? 2018?
I need a lot of verbal diarrhea to get there. Like, okay, so I moved out here in January 2017. Then I did improv for a while. Shout out to the Ape Theater. And then I met you at open mic that didn't happen. And I think you're right.
It got
2018.
canceled. And we just talked for 3 hours.
Yeah,
that's right.
I think there was we hit a 3-year anniversary of Beardos, or was it 2?
I think it was 2.
2. Okay.
I think we did 2
because
it ended March of 2020.
Yeah.
Right after we canceled our 311 show.
Yeah.
That's how I can remember that, because it was that week. Because we had there was a show on Monday. There was a show on
school
Wednesday.
Night was Monday.
School night was
Wednesday was Dueling Beardos. Yeah.
Wednesday was Blue Velvet.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
And then Thursday was Dueling Beardos, and we did all this promotion.
Yeah.
Barely anyone came to the school night on Monday.
Oh.
Nobody came to Blue Velvet.
The comics showed up, thankfully.
The comics all showed up.
We wanted to have a show, but COVID was not down.
No.
311 reference.
Down. Todd, beat that thing. Deep cut 311 references.
It's a tribute.
Yeah. I mean, it's a love song, so.
Nice.
They covered that song.
Yeah, they did. They covered it. They covered it with Amber.
With Amber
waves.
and champagne.
Champagne, yeah. Yeah.
How many more references?
And fuck out the naysayers because they don't mean a thing. This is what style we bring.
But we had that 311 themed show.
Yeah.
And that was when we canceled it, and I was like, I was just like, shut it down. Shut everything down.
Shut it down. Meanwhile, across the street, there was an Incubus themed show. Sold out.
Sold out. Yeah. They were sold out.
I stick my toes into my nose. Incubus reference. Actually, Fungus Among Us was tight, but everything after that was trash, in my opinion.
I loved that. Science was
Science,
my
the album?
jam. Yeah.
All right, I'll check it out.
Science with periods. It does not hold up. I think it's this thing. I've heard about this and read about it now a couple of times, is that any music that you listen to between certain ages in your development, like developmental with your brain, it like locks you in because you hear more notes and you hear more. It's like more
my gosh, yeah,
deep. It's almost like how you can like taste more, and it's so in your developmental years, the music that you heard at that point matters way more.
Oh, heard in general, not whether you embraced it then or not, but just heard it.
Yeah, but I think you have an appreciation for it.
Okay.
For music that you were into and resonated with you, I guess.
Okay, yeah, because 311
it's gonna resonate with you forever.
Okay, it does, because there were it was 06, and I made a conscious New Year's resolution. I'm like, I want to listen to more 311 this year. I loved them, and one big slam to 311 is people just feel like it's generic or doesn't do anything for them. But for me, I loved it. I loved how they had different things going on. It felt like my brain split in half. Like one half of my brain was following one thing, maybe the beat or the bass, and the other, the harmony, the weird harmony vocals. My other half of my brain was globbing onto that. So it was nice. It was like someone did a take it apart and put it back together with my brain when I listened to them.
Yeah, I don't know. I had friends that were really into them and kind of pushed me to be into them, and then now I have this appreciation of the music because it was like 8th grade was when I was obsessed.
Oh, cool, yeah.
I want to say that was when the From Chaos album came out. And then I bought all of the other albums. Like I actually bought, I remember I had the CD of Grassroots. It's like that green.
Oh, yeah.
I had music. I had to go to the CD store and order it.
Oh, wow.
And then wait a week and then
my
it
God.
shows up. Like you had to order it because they didn't have it in stock.
Isn't that funny to think about? You went to a brick and mortar to then say, could you order this for me?
Yeah. And they're like, do you want it on a tape? Do you want it on a CD? Do you want it
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
Anything can happen when you order music.
Right. And then there's experimental format that we're trying out. Remember those like super mini small CD
chip
things?
Clips.
Chip clips. Is that what they were called?
Hit clips.
Hit clips?
Yeah, we talked about this it's so funny because we totally talked about this on Love Hate Laughs on a recent episode. Shout out to my other podcast.
Everyone better said they love chip clips.
Hit clips.
Chip clips.
It was
one
song.
Keep your chips fresh.
It
was one song.
Yeah, chip clips keep your chips fresh. They keep them fleshy.
Flesh chips. Someone's done that. Oh,
flesh
God.
chips. I mean, isn't that what pig ears or whatever are?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's like pig skins.
You come back from the lake, like, can I peel your back? I'm making a fresh bag of flesh chips.
Flesh chips.
I use avocado instead of olive oil on my flesh chips.
Like kale chips.
Yeah.
All right, so this is I'm going to just jump us back on track. We have less hair than we did then.
Oh, yeah, yeah, coming
That's what
back.
I was trying to say.
What a tangent. That was the best
tangent. That was a fun
ever.
tangent.
Yeah.
I was like, where was I? Okay, yeah. And we are back doing it, but less hair, which is fine.
All the hair that was on my head said, I want to visit the world, and jumped off my forehead. Another 311 reference.
I love it. I love it. So this is just a podcast where we are going to just like talk about things we learn in comedy.
Yes.
That we're like excited about that we and we're going to do it in a top 5 format. So I really like the top 5 because it kind of pushes you to think just a little bit.
Yeah, it does.
This is this is also like a writing technique that I use is I will do a list of like punchlines.
Oh, I love lists.
Or a list of things, of ideas, and I always do one more than I'm capable of, if that makes any sense.
No, it does. It's like the opposite of Hemingway. Didn't Hemingway notoriously stop in the middle of a scene because he's like, I know exactly where I'm going to pick up later. It's like the opposite. It's like push past.
This is always just like it's to get out all of the ideas, no wrong ideas, and then the last one, do one more than I feel like I can do.
Yeah.
And that sometimes you come up with something great, sometimes but sometimes you unlock a couple because then you find a new avenue that you may not have taken that bit or joke or thing.
Totally. Plus, just making the list, your brain's going to be cranking on that subconsciously from then until you decide, oh, that's the line.
Right.
And so then pushing yourself one more, your brain's just in crank mode.
And I'll be honest, sometimes it doesn't happen. Sometimes it's the second one and you're like, well, that's good. I don't really need to go any further.
Oh, that's fun, isn't it? When you go back and you're like, oh, that's it.
The other one that I like to do that helps, it's weird reframing things, like tricking my own subconscious, but I like to, I try to think of what the worst idea is.
Oh, yeah.
What's the thing because this is a weird place to have heard it, but I heard it from Dan Harmon.
Okay.
You know, the show, he was the showrunner for Community.
Right.
And they made it, he had all of his writers make a list of the worst ideas.
Oh, great.
Of what shows we will never do.
Yeah.
And someone wrote school shooting.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know. Have you seen the school shooting episode?
No, I haven't.
It is the best episode. Like, if you just watch
this
one episode, go watch that one.
I'll watch that one.
It's a parody of. They did a parody of like, what is it? A video game, Call of Duty, basically.
Oh, okay.
And then they did a whole Star Wars trilogy parody.
Oh, nice.
The premise is that there's a paintball contest at the school.
Yeah.
And everyone takes it way too seriously.
Awesome.
And they, it's really, really good. It's like such a good episode.
That's cool.
But I love that the way they got there is what is the worst idea? And then you kind of crank on that terrible idea. Because sometimes it helps you get out of your own way.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, it's like you break down the structure, the limiting structure you're building by trying to do the best you can. Like, oh, let's do the worst job. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
that.
You can kind of like let go. And sometimes you find the better ideas. So
totally,
all right,
yeah.
Those were two little tangents. But so we are gonna do for this episode the question that you what are 5 ways to open a set?
Yeah, love it.
I like this, and I feel like I said I wanted to go first because I feel like we're gonna do a lot of the same.
Yeah, totally.
All right. So number 1, obviously, a look like joke.
Nice one.
Open with a look like joke. But you can hide it. You don't have to be like, I know I look like.
Oh my God!
Or whatever. What do I look like today?
Yeah.
I look like a dad on the golf course or whatever.
Yeah. You look like people.
I look retired.
Yeah, totally. You look like people ask
Let's
you.
Let's get retired in here.
Let's get retired. Oh boy. In here. Few issues with that. I like 311 way more than the Black Eyed Peas. The thing
and they tried to scrub that from the existence.
I was so upset that they didn't lean in. Like the radio edit came out, and I'm like, no, you wrote it. Sing it.
Just own it, dude.
Own it. Yeah. Let's Get Slightly Aroused in Here was not a good cover of your own song.
Let's get it started.
Let's get some soft
Let's get
rubs
retired
in here.
Is so funny to me though now.
Oh, I want to hear a verse about colostomy bags.
Yeah.
Let's
in this
retired.
Context, there's no disrespect of this colostomy bag.
Yeah.
That's a mouthful.
In this context, there's no dental checks.
There's no dental checks.
I want to say, like, you look like people are asking you, did you paint the house blue with a white shirt on or white with a blue shirt on?
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. So a look like joke.
Yeah.
You cleverly start with I look like jokes, but without saying I look like, and that's like a cool. Yeah. I think that's it's a good starting point. Be like, I look like this, but then thinking of a different way of phrasing,
way of saying
that.
It. Yeah, which dips into something you said is like, think of 10 ways to say that differently. Which on the drive over here, I thought of a way to say, list 10 things that are the same thing but said differently, a different way. I don't know. That was too layered for me to express,
I like it.
But I thought on the way over here, it's like, don't just literally try to rewrite the sentence in 10 different ways, but morally explore the idea of the statement that you want to change in 10 ways. And what would that look like? Yeah. So yeah, I am working with the opening line, I cut my bangs today.
Yeah.
It's a visual joke, but it's not I look like Mr. Clean in the before picture. Or Mr. Clean's teenage years or whatever, I don't know.
Yeah.
But
I look like
But it's I'm bald, but I explored that world like.
Yeah. Why do you think it's good to start with a I look like joke?
Well, something I'm taking from what you said, it forces the audience to look at you. So if someone's like taking a drink when you get on stage, then they're going to be like, "Oh, what?" And so you're getting everyone's visual attention, and plus it's a easy, quick way to connect you with the audience. Like, I jumped to what you're thinking, and I worded it in a possibly more clever way than you were thinking, but we all relate. Oh yeah, that guy's bald, or oh yeah, that dude is retired, or whatever.
Does look retired in here.
Yeah, that guy does look retired in here. In this context, there's no disrespect.
There's no disrespect. I'm gonna find a way of using that someday.
Yeah,
I love it.
This
is kind of like my number 2 is sort of it's almost like a B to the one we just did.
All right.
But
I love sub bullet points.
Roast yourself.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Like, so I guess that would be like, yeah. I look like I really want to be retired in here.
Yeah, right.
or something.
I look like I have too lofty dreams, like I'm gonna retire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I might actually get to retire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like roasting yourself, or the danger of that then though is like sometimes it starts to feel like prop comedy where you're just like,
Oh, well,
where it's just like, did you wear the shirt so you can do the bit? And it sucks sometimes when you write an amazing, like I wear like ridiculous clothing all the time, and I'll write something hilarious. And there was one joke that I did that for a while that I was like, ugh, I hate this, but it just worked. And I wrote it.
I love it.
On the spot one day when we were hosting or something, and then I just kept doing it for a while.
Yeah.
And I was like, I gotta not do this anymore.
Yeah.
I kind of retire him immediately.
Yeah, and okay, and
like how I should with this shirt.
We like like how we all want to with our jobs, but we can't. Yeah, I remember there was a comic we saw at a long gone show who showed up in shorts and like a wicking tee, and they started with, I know I look like I just jogged on a treadmill for a half hour before I came here, and then they went into a bit about how they look like that, and that was really well done. So the behind the scenes motivation for the roast joke is just connect with your audience by acknowledging what they might be thinking looking at you. Yeah.
So roasting yourself, that's also, I guess that would be kind of like a look. It could be a look-like joke.
Yeah.
Number 3. I don't know if I don't do this one much.
Oh, we'll have to hear about why you don't do it. Yeah. All right.
Roast the host.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But this is a danger zone thing because I've been the host and had someone I don't know very well.
It makes me cry.
Just shit all over me.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you're hosting an open mic, there isn't enough time to cry, And
Yeah.
you just have to go back up there.
Yeah, totally.
And sometimes it's good, but most of the time it's not. It's not great.
Yeah, because especially if it's like a 3-minute mic, if the host, I'm thinking backwards. I'm thinking, what if the host says a left field line for the next comic coming up? Then you have a 3-minute set, but you kind of have to address what the host said because it's so off the wall. But you roast the host. I think that's good.
I think roasting the host, I agree more with roasting the host over roasting the last comic that was on.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Because the host gets a chance to come up and sort of redeem themselves a little bit.
Yeah, that's fair.
And they can rebuttal, so it
fight.
feels it's a bit more of a fair fight. But when I kind of have a pet peeve, especially at like an open mic or something, when someone who goes after me spends like half their set shitting all over me. And it's like, first of all, come on. Second of all, I don't get a chance to come back. And if I didn't do something crazy like that deserves that,
right?
Like if I did something that really alienated the audience and they all kind of collectively were like booing me, it's like no, yeah, like let's get on the you guys can get on the same team and hate me.
And objectively, if someone created tension and it wasn't released, you can use that as your way to release the tension.
But just like shitting all over me for no reason when you don't know me, when it's like if you did it, I would laugh hysterically. It'd be fine.
Yeah, if there's a
we're friends.
Yeah, totally. If there's
someone that I don't really know, and
it just leaves the bad taste in your mouth. Yeah, you're like,
and I don't feel good about doing that to somebody else.
If I ever host a mic, you just made me realize what I want to do. If someone does roast a previous comic, when their set's done, I'm going to say, hey, so-and-so, would you like to get up here and rebuttal?
You should.
I'm going to do it like, hey, you open yourself up.
Yeah, you get an extra minute to come up and rebuttal that.
Yeah.
But you don't. The original offender does not.
Yeah. Yeah, better.
Let's even this up a little bit. That's a brilliant idea.
I love that.
All right. Number 4. I have point out something in the room.
Oh, I like it.
There's another one. I've seen it done well, and I've seen it done not well.
Oh, are you going to give us the example of well and not well, or? Because
sure.
I agree. Well,
I think I did it well. That one time we went to that mic and there was that piece of carpet that was hanging on the edge of the stage that looked like it was in pristine condition, and then the rest of the carpet it looked like it was on its last thread. Like it was just so threads.
Thin. Yeah,
you could barely see what the pattern was, but then there was like this, because it was a square carpet on kind of a roundish stage, and it was like, and there was a speaker on top of it, and there was just this like little piece of virginal carpet.
Virginal.
And I just went up there, and then I went and touched it.
Yeah, you did.
I violated.
Yeah, and then the mic was canceled immediately after.
Yeah, it was.
But I think you called it a pizza slice of freshness or something like that. It looked like a little triangle.
It was just like
perfection.
a little fresh piece of carpet.
Yeah.
Like it had never been vacuumed, but it didn't need to because it was just dangling from the stage.
It had pure thoughts. Yeah.
Pure thoughts.
Yeah.
And then I touched it.
Yeah.
And then I thought later, I was like, oh, I should have stepped on it just to, make it feel seen,
Totally. Yeah. I can support weight as well. Yeah.
That would be something that like I wasted half my set talking about.
Oh my gosh,
this tiny little piece of carpet on there. But
if I was the host, I would have let the carpet come up after your set and rebuttal. Like, yeah, but that guy looks like he's retired. Little carpet.
Retired. Oh, low blow.
Oh
man. So
that's cool. Yeah.
That would be now I've seen it done.
That hit
bad.
so strongly. Yeah.
There was people that would I'm not gonna say what it was because it was just terrible. But
I wonder
like
if it's
at Dueling
exactly what I'm
Beardos,
thinking.
are you thinking of when they called it an R dungeon?
Oh God!
It was like
I've
it was just
blocked
like,
that out of my mind.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Oh yeah, because now why
it's
throw
a classy
that?
place.
Yeah, why throw that in the audience's mind? It's
yeah.
Like, okay, so I have a few premises I'm going to work out after I made you think of that thing.
Yeah, and you didn't have to say it that way. You could have said but even then, it was because if you looked up in that building, there was like insulation, and it had been painted black. Like everything had been painted black, so you wouldn't notice if you looked up that it's like a 25-foot ceiling.
Right. Yeah.
Because it was painted, and then it was done really tastefully and really well. And yes, if you looked up, you'd be like, oh, it is kind of weird and leathery looking up there.
It did look like an upholstered, buttoned couch back or something.
On the ceiling.
On the ceiling, yeah.
And
there was a mirror. No, there wasn't.
Yeah, there was a mirror and a spinning bed. No. Yeah. And but it just was like, also in that case, the owner was also the bartender. And whenever people would tear on the stuff, it was like there was a lot of planned aesthetic and thought that went into the space.
Yeah.
And when people just kind of like openly,
I know. It's like, this isn't a reality show where big name designers get to shit on a newcomer's design. Like, what would you like to say to the owner who is behind the bar?
Who's letting us do this?
Yeah.
Yeah, like it just So I would say proceed with caution on making. Maybe just don't make it. I guess that's just bad joke writing.
Yeah, yeah. And also, what would you say about this? Like, reference something in the room or from a previous comic, but in a positive way, or like not in a derogatory way. Like, if there's a previous comic, whether they did well or not, like when I would host stuff, if a comic didn't do well, I wouldn't bag on them, but I would bring up something they spoke about. Like maybe they spoke about sniffing permanent markers. Like, wow, if anyone's waiting too long for a drink, definitely sniff a marker. Then that's shitting on the room because it's saying slow service. That goes in
but perfectly to my number 5.
Oh, good. But if you can still make them look good. You can reference something they spoke about, but don't slam them because they didn't get a laugh on a bit or something. That's just
I don't. No, pretty much on the whole, I just don't like.
Yeah.
Like, keep it fun and positive, and I mean, you can kind of slam people on a fun way if it's done in a fun way.
Sure, there's a way to do it.
But riff on something the last comic said or did.
Yes.
So that was my number 5.
Underutilized.
It is. It's hard though because if you're like trying to get a recording or a tape, you kind of can't do. You gotta like skip that.
Yeah.
And if you do it a lot, it's so hard to not do it. But it's a great way to acknowledge that this is a live thing that's happening right now, and it's not. Even if the bit is something that, because I've done that where like I was like, oh, I have a bit that would follow that just perfectly.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'll
Perfect. Roll
just
into it.
Do it.
Nice.
I did that the other day at when I was hosting for the show that you were on. I did a different punch. I tried a different punchline, so it didn't work very well. But it was a joke that I had done in the past.
Okay, and you did it after someone's set?
Yeah, so it was that joke. It was that someone had a joke about I don't remember what way about like their because there was a very queer
Mm-hmm.
lineup, and then I don't know about people introducing them or something like that, and I was like, oh, that's perfect. I have a joke about how
cool
when people introduce me like, hey, this is my gay friend Bjorn. This is my friend Bjorn. He's gay.
Yeah,
and then it's kind of just like, hey, why are we talking about sex right now?
Right.
This is a business meeting.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't know. I've still got to figure out like the best punchline for that, but
yeah.
it is just like this weird thing of like, okay, well now people are picturing sex, so
Right, yeah.
So then the idea is just like, hey, this is my friend Bjorn. He's into furries. Like,
and you throw out puppy play. Yeah.
Why are we doing this?
Yeah.
He's a furry.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't say this is Todd. He cheats on his wife.
Right. Totally. Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's not. He doesn't.
No, I don't. I posted a group pic of all of us out on the street the other day, and I wrote, was it? Why did I even write? Anyway, I hashtagged it with side piece just to be funny.
Yeah.
Now I can't even remember the impetus for why I even did that. It was another word I wanted to use. I'm like, oh, side piece is funny, even though it has nothing to do with anyway.
That's funny.
Anyway.
But riff off something the last comic said or did, but in a positive way. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Because it's like, here's the most banal, boring way you could remind the audience that we've all had a shared experience. You could say, give it up for all the comics you've seen so far.
Yeah.
That's one end of the spectrum, I think. The other end is just making a really great riff or funny moment or expanding on an idea another comic came up with earlier.
It's almost like my way sometimes. In the last one, it was like, okay, I had that joke already that I had totally forgotten about, and it's like, oh, cool. Now I might actually work on making it work. And now, so that's a little different. But sometimes I'm like, I think of a tag for somebody, and that's my way of telling them the tag.
Oh,
I'll do their setup, and then I'll do that. So it's like a chance to kind of like punch up somebody else's joke. I would never then do that joke as my own, but that's another. So this goes into my extra credit part of this.
Oh, cool. I love that.
Something that I used to do. I don't anymore. I just don't. I don't need to. But when I first started, I have a really hard time, very ADD, and so I have a hard time sitting through an entire open mic, especially, even a show, even like your show the other day, the contest.
I'm glad I went last.
I had to get up a couple of times because I was just like,
right before my set.
I am looking around too much.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like I've always been more of a participator than a spectator. It's hard for me to just be and especially if people are bombing.
Oh
that
my
is
God.
so hard for me because it's almost like just watching something fall apart that you can't. It's like in movies, when you just know that they're making bad choices, and you're like, if you just made one goddamn good choice,
right? Come on,
like,
isn't there a character that was written to express the thought process of the audience? Where are they? Yeah, come on.
But then there would be no movie most of the time. Like I remember that as a kid, I was just like, man, if Ariel just stayed in the ocean, none of this would have happened. She could have just been happy in the ocean the whole time. Why does she have to leave?
Yeah, if she hadn't picked up that fork, everything would be fine.
Yeah. She just left that fork.
Leave the fork. Yeah.
Leave it alone.
Yeah. Oh.
Like just, or Belle, just keep reading books. Why do you got to go in that castle?
Yeah, totally.
Oh, wait, her dad. Never mind.
Yeah. Or like if Hansel and Gretel had just eaten the breadcrumbs they had at home.
Yeah. They'd have been fine.
Yeah.
But then there'd be no story.
No story. Yeah.
The hero's journey is just reading books at home.
If Alf had just stayed on his planet.
I know. Ugh. Oh my God, where was I going? Oh, so what I used to do is I would sit and I would come up with jokes or things, basically do some of these things for what I would say after every single comedian.
Oh, I love that. Great practice. Yeah.
And then I got the opportunity to start when I was hosting an open mic.
Yeah.
Then I did that again, but then I actually tried everything that I did, and I would find myself finding jokes.
Yeah.
Or remembering jokes. Like I totally forgot about that one joke that isn't done, but I'm like, oh, I could like bring that back.
Yeah.
And that's happened a bunch of times where like a comic will do a joke or something, and I'm like, oh yeah, I had a joke. It'll like remind me of something that I had, and
I love it.
So that practice helped me get a lot sharper and quicker at that.
That's a great practice. Yeah. Extra credit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, Todd. What
Great
are
list.
your? I am excited for your list.
I'm excited for yours. I'm gonna implement those.
I'm curious. I wanted to go first because I wanted it to feel like if there was all of the same ones,
Yeah.
then it would seem like you just copied me.
Totally. And then I came back with
like-
I want to go second, so I can say like all of mine are the same, but they're worded better. That's so mean. All right.
I love it. No, it's perfect because it's kind of mean. Oh, it's like at a restaurant when you are like, all right, I definitely know what I want to eat. And then everyone before you orders exactly what you were just going to order.
Oh, yeah.
And then you're like, well, now it looks like I'm just part of the group.
Yeah.
But I legitimately, and you have to tell this, I legitimately saw the chicken, decided on the chicken before everyone else.
Yeah, you have to be. I was first. I'm not a follower. Yeah, yeah.
I'm not a follower.
Look, yeah.
Maybe make one modification just to be
different. just so you think. I'm going to be extra just so you don't think I'm
like,
extra. Yeah.
Can you put cheese on it?
Yeah.
The salmon.
Yeah.
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 Salmon with just some melted American cheese, baby.
Yeah, American. Yeah, it's got to be.
It's got to be.
If anyone's putting any other cheese on salmon,
What would
done.
your cheese be?
For
What do you
salmon?
think the best cheese for salmon would be?
Oh my God.
Swiss.
Yeah, Swiss is great. I haven't
Gruyere.
had all the cheese. I haven't had enough to know, but I would say, what about a grated smoked Gouda? Thoughts?
Ooh,
Possible.
Possibly. It's gonna overtake the flavor. I think
I
anything
know.
salty. So you just do like
Right.
maybe like a cheddar sounds weird, but like a really sharp cheddar. Or,
Yeah, any tart cheese.
or like a Parmesan or something.
Parmesan?
Or Romano.
Yeah, or feta. I'm going to go on a limb and say
Ooh.
feta is the all-purpose cheese.
All-purpose
You
cheese.
can't go wrong with feta.
Fries.
I actually had
Feta.
McMenamin's Greek fries in Washington. They have
Ooh.
Greek fries. I'm like, I don't know what that is, but I like it. It was just
yeah,
dumped
salad,
with feta.
pizza.
Uh-huh.
Oh, what about spaghetti?
Spaghetti, I'd sprinkle feta on there.
What if you made lasagna with feta?
Oh,
instead
I
of-
would love that. That would be such a good tartness. I would probably mix it. I would do a third feta
Mix it
with two
the
other
ricotta.
cheeses. Ricotta, Parmesan, feta. Oh, I would be
Ooh.
all down for that.
Okay.
I think there might be a
I know.
Greek
Orange
equivalent.
chicken.
I would try it.
I would try
it.
it too.
Oh, would you? Nice.
I've
Let's
had
do that
the
after
ice
this.
cream from
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
I
no,
thought
that
you
was
were
goat
orange chicken
cheese.
ice cream. I'm out.
Goat cheese ice cream.
I'm out. Goat cheese and doesn't go for anything on me.
It goes with nothing.
From
It goes in the trash. It goes really well with the trash.
You know what goat cheese goes well with? And this is why I don't eat it. My
Coffee
mustache for a
grounds.
week later. Yeah. It's like I know I washed my face every day this week, but the goat cheese is like, I'm still here.
and you can it just makes everything taste like goat cheese.
Yeah. And then I don't do any mics that week because everyone's like, I wish the mic smelled like beer instead of mustache goat cheese.
Goat cheese mustache.
Goat cheese mustache.
Oh, merch.
Todd
idea.
looks like a guy that has a goat cheese mustache.
Yeah. The movie Big Lebowski with Sam Elliott, but it's just about goat cheese.
Well, the dude ate some goat cheese.
Goat cheese.
The dude abides on goat cheese.
All right. All right, starting a set. Get a laugh in the first 10 seconds. Come on,
Oh.
y'all. What are we fooling around for? Get a laugh. What are you up there
Mm.
for? Getting a laugh.
The first 10 seconds.
I love that. That's a
Yeah.
great editing tool for me for it's like, is my set ready for this or that? How can it be stronger? Get a laugh in the first 10 seconds. My wife helped me with that one because I'm like, I want to get a word and I want to get a laugh in the first 5 words. And she's like, whew, that's really limiting. What if you did time instead, like 10 seconds? Yeah.
So you can just really, really fast.
Yeah. Micro Machines guy. Blah, blah, blah. The next one is, and I think I'd rate this 5 if we were ranking them. If you can't do any of these other ones, do this one. Get the audience to applaud something. In some way, you've connected with them. Plus, you see where they're at as far as how much noise they're going to make for stuff.
Yeah.
And you made them make noise. So if no one has laughed at anything all night, at least they just clapped. So they're like, oh, we can make noise in here and nothing's going to break. So that's a last resort. But number 3, you might have heard this before. Do an I look like joke. Extra points if you do it without using the words I look like.
I look like. Yeah. Ooh, I like it.
Yeah.
What was number 2 again?
Number 2 is get the audience to applaud something.
Oh,
like, hey, give it up for your wait staff. Give it up for the T-shirt I'm wearing. Actually, I like that.
Do you know why?
That. Don't use that. That's mine.
From a specific. Give it up for this guy's T-shirt.
Yeah, this guy. Give it up for Descartes inventing the Cartesian coordinate system. They're like, boo.
I have just a small comment. Do you know psychologically why it's good to ask the audience to give it up or like clap for something?
I can throw out some guesses, but I don't know if I know.
So I read this somewhere that it unifies the
Love
group.
It. Yeah.
It establishes the relationship. I say something, you do something.
Oh, that click word, cause and effect. Yeah.
It's I say something, you do something together in unison. So when you have them clap, it's just an easy way. It's a little bit of a cheat code to getting them to. There are a bunch of individuals that are coming together as an audience, and when they clap together, that it kind of like it turns them into one mind, sort of.
Oh, the group mind of the audience. Yeah, I like how you would start Blue Velvet, that show we had on Wednesdays, with you'd say a line, you had a wording for it. You'd be like, "Oh, you've all now been unified as an audience, and it feels great."
I would say, you've never been an audience before. I'm so excited.
Yeah, now they're all one.
This exact audience has never existed and may never exist again. I mean, like, you're not gonna die.
Right? Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
This combination in this moment is here, and then it will be gone. And
yeah, they all shared an experience, and then pretty soon they were sharing STDs. It was great. It totally linked the audience together. All right, number 4, riff on something that has happened before in the show. And check this. This doesn't have to be verbal. It could be an attitude or theme. Like if the previous 2 comics did an awkward wave when they walked out, then do a more awkward wave when you walk out. So and maybe the audience won't consciously realize it, but if you're playing off something physically or thematically that someone else did, that's fun. It's fun for the performer, and I think that can also be a way to get you reinvested in your set. Like, someone did a really pregnant pause in their bit, then the second person went up
and was pregnant.
And was oh yeah, and then you come out and do a live birth, and it's triplets. Nailed it. People will be speaking about that comedy show forever.
I'm sorry.
Pop. Yeah, no, that's brilliant. You just one up that for sure. The next comic was pregnant.
What?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. So number 4, scratch what I said. Be pregnant. To start a set. You start in the middle. Yeah. People don't want to come out and see you fornicate. You should already be pregnant when you get out there.
Pregnant.
Yeah. That's why I love it when people have the baby on board stickers. It's like, oh, you want me to help raise your kid on the freeway by driving safely? Where was I when you were fornicating? Why wasn't I a part of that stuff?
Yeah, could I be a part of that part of this baby's life?
Yeah, baby being formed. Like, oh, I'm listening. That's creepy. All right, number 5. Tailor your start to the type of audience. For example,
wait.
Oh, go ahead.
Baby being made on board.
Oh,
stickers.
That's brilliant. Oh my God. Some graphic artist out there listening.
I'm sorry, I interrupted.
Send us 3 different designs.
I mean, we could just
of a baby being made on board.
Yeah,
merch.
Baby being made on board. And then it's just a women winking.
A
woman winking.
Yeah, totally.
But I turned it into a winkum.
A winkum? Oh.
A woman winking.
A woman winking. Oh my God.
A winking. Okay.
Winking. Okay, so number 5. Awesome. I love that. Baby being made on board. That's brilliant. Tailor your start to the type of audience. For example, if it's a comedy club audience who is all there for comedy and they've already been warmed up, then just start with a joke.
Yeah.
Like 2 years ago for PFP, I'm like, Portland's Funniest, I'm going to come out there with so much energy. And I came out and I was like, yeah, give it up. Yeah. And I'm like, that was totally unnecessary. And I saw people do well who just came out. They would just walk out and go, joke one.
Yeah.
And they're ready for that.
Yeah.
You don't have to convince them to pay attention. But
if you're in a loud bar in Vancouver on a Friday night,
Silver Star Saloon,
yeah, where there's no stairs to get on the stage, and sometimes you just perform in front of the stage on the dance floor.
Yeah, there might be one rogue dance floor light that's like that no one knows how to turn off, and someone at the bar projects louder than you do with the PA somehow.
Yeah. Then you might want to come in with a lot of energy.
Totally. Yeah, that's so funny. That's exactly what I had.
The whole thing with the light and everything.
Vancouver. No,
that's why it took so long for you to write this.
I know. If you don't need high energy for the comedy club audience that's ready to go. But if it's a loud bar show, like you said, then coming out with great projection and volume and attention getting is a better option. If it's a show,
you can almost go small in a comedy club.
You could,
You can take, like, literally if an audience is ready for comedy, just totally prime, like, you can literally just come out and just take too long of a pause and you'll get a laugh.
You can, yeah.
Because the tension's so high and everyone's there ready to laugh that they just start laughing.
Right. The expectation is that you're going to say something.
Yeah.
And if you don't say anything, I bet you can get a laugh. I bet you could get a laugh if you don't say anything for a while with a comedy club audience.
I mean, I've seen it where people, like, they try to, like, I don't know, they like fumble with the mic stand.
Oh, and milk that on purpose, you mean?
I've seen it on purpose, but I've also seen it by accident where someone can't figure it out.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I hope this is a bit.
I know, yeah.
I hope this is a bit.
It is, yeah.
That would be an interesting thing to do, to just do like a challenge, like for the comedy contest, just fumble with the mic stand for 5 minutes.
I would like to call the host back out to help. Like, hey, could you come out? And just watch him do it. Just stand there and watch the host do it for you. That'd be awesome.
We should do exiting the stage, knock the mic over, or drop it.
Totally. Drop it like it's actually too hot. Yeah.
That's a reference to Todd tripping over the mic stand.
The end of my set, yeah. And my wife gave me a great line. She said, you should have shouted physical comedy after I destroyed the mic stand. Oh, my God. Okay, so... Okay. Yeah, so, comedy club audience, loud bar show. If it's a show that has been dragging on too long and the audience is over it, try to mix it up. What has happened and what can you do different? And I'm going to shout out to Johnny Gerber for this next thing. He had a great way of talking about this. Johnny Gerber's out being social somewhere. He said, use the match, exceed, or change up method, meaning match the previous comic's energy if they did well, or exceed the previous comic's qualities that worked well, or do a reverse extreme from the previous comic to mix it up. So if if Carrot Top Energy person was out there before you, come in with like I don't know who's
Carrot Bottom Energy.
Carrot Bottom Energy.
I love it. There.
Carrot Bottom Energy.
And then the next time, just Carrot Medium Energy.
Yeah, just come out and be like, mattresses
Carrot
are sweaty.
Bell curve. Yeah. Middle of the bell curve.
Yeah. I was chewing on a pillow and totally.
No, so I was told like after I opened a show with way too much energy.
Oh, I love this.
The headliner was like, told me to try and match the energy of the audience, and
which I don't totally agree with.
Don't know if I agree or disagree with that, because I've heard that before too, and it's like, yeah, but if I'm opening the show and I'm trying to get the energy going, like it's like I'm trying to get the party started, right? And so maybe I might need to force it just a little bit.
Yeah,
it might be a little weird, but maybe I should tone it back when people aren't responding to me, like screaming or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I like that adjustment you just said. Here's my thing. If the audience is at a 5 to 10 energy-wise, match the audience level. But if they're at under a 5, I think you should do the 3 points higher at least. Mm-hmm. So if they're at a 2, you should come out there at a 5 at least.
Yeah.
Because you are starting the show, and you want everyone else to. You want to break that audience as soon as. You
like
want to be
horse.
Tommy Lee Jones and be like, "Ha! I can get that stallion."
yeah. Just jump on it.
I'm Tommy Lee Jones. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm to that point right now with stand-up and stuff where I really, truly have gotten to the point where I take everything with a grain of salt, and I don't even, it doesn't even matter. I actually don't believe in checking the source. I think everyone has a valid opinion of what they think, and I think everything should be considered that I'm told.
Okay.
But I don't think I should apply everything that I'm told.
All right.
You know what I mean?
Oh, I like that, yeah.
But I feel like we can learn anything. We can learn something from everyone,
Totally.
regardless, of who they are. They might have, because there is like sometimes some childlike innocence of someone that just started comedy and notices something that,
Yeah.
as opposed to someone who's been doing it forever and is like stuck in a rut with their thought process. And we both have struggled with this, where there's like all this old advice that's now antiquated, and realizing how it's just like how it hindered us for so long.
Right. And you've talked about this idea in some capacity. Like, I don't mean to put words in your mouth, but if you had to condense how comedy has changed from those older days till now, it's that everyone's more honest and revealing than they used to be. And
You just have to be.
yeah, and I've done shows before where
Thanks,
I'll
Louis
book,
C.K.
yeah, like that honest, yeah. Well, I'm glad. Well,
Yeah.
honesty's good. I'll just say that.
Yeah, honesty's good. All right, I'm so sorry I derailed you.
No, if I'm doing a show and I want to pick up some comics in the scene who I want to be on the show, if I saw someone who is totally new, maybe hasn't been doing it, but they're connected with being honest to themselves in front of an audience, I'm booking them way over someone who maybe has a bunch of experience, but maybe they might be abrasive toward an audience.
Mm-hmm.
I'll definitely. I've enjoyed working with people who I've seen who maybe don't go up often, but they're coming at an audience with honesty, and I'm like, oh, that's going to be great for the show.
Yeah.
I don't care if they have packed punchlines in there. They're going to be honest, and they're an interesting person, and I would put them on a show in a heartbeat.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I also, I'm just a huge proponent of, like, so often, I mean, you will be working on a joke together or whatever, and you'll just ask me this, and I'm like, God damn it. Throwing my own thing back at me. But it's just like,
it's helpful.
Start from an honest point.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone can kind of sniff out if you're not being honest or you're trying to be funny.
Yeah.
My thing around honesty is always just that, like, the honest thing, life's crazy, and the truth is usually funnier. It's crazy than, like, you trying to be safe and, like, have the right answer.
Yeah.
It's so much funnier to just be honest. Like, I was at a thing the other day, and I was telling a story, and I changed the ending of the story, and then I brought it back and was like, hang on, you guys, I just lied to you.
Yeah.
So the story was that I one time was at Target getting groceries, which we've talked about. It's weird that I do that, but it is.
But you're not alone. I mean, a lot of people do that.
I was getting my groceries from Target, so strike one.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
But the guy bagging my groceries, I had like one reusable bag. And then he took my bread and he just like shoved it into the bag.
Yeah.
And then he was like, oh, I didn't think it was going to fit, but I got it all to fit. And I was just like, dude.
Wow.
And what the story I told was like, and then I took the bread out and I said, I don't want this bread, and I can't believe it, and I want my money back. I said this whole thing, and then as I was saying that, I was like, okay, let's be honest. I just said nothing and just got upset and laughed.
Yeah.
And I didn't say anything. I truly didn't say anything.
Yeah.
This person squished the bread. I threw it away as soon as I got home.
Man. Yeah.
But the honest part is funnier.
It is.
Than the one with, like, the cool guy. Yeah, and then I said this, and then we got in a fight, and then and then Batman showed up.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
What am I, a 10-year-old telling stories at a party?
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Why am I still doing this?
Oh my God. 10-year-old
I
party
was trying to be
stories.
cool because everyone else was like telling stories about how they like were a Karen one time, and that was my story. And I was like, I'll be totally honest, I didn't say anything. I just was quiet and was upset and just didn't go to that guy's checkout lane ever again.
Yeah, you're like the pre-story for a Karen. You're like, This is instance number 7 of 114 where I didn't do anything and I got enraged.
And it just got built up.
Yeah. Yeah, even today's episode, there were a few times where I went for a joke. I'm like, oh, that was reaching. And I feel like if I had just had an honest reaction instead, I'm
always telling you,
better.
Have honest reactions.
It's really good to be reminded
honest
of that. Yeah,
and
it's
just
important.
Go for that honest reaction because the truth is always funnier. I don't know why.
It is.
But that was there anything else that you wanted to say about opening a set in a strong way? I guess we could have said strongly.
Right, yeah, because you could open it any way you want. Like, what's the worst idea? Let's do that.
Worst idea?
What's the worst way to open a set?
Worst way to open a set, I think, would be to like berate the audience.
Oh yeah, totally.
But as I'm saying that, it's like you could do that in a funny way.
And people might be into
it. When I kind of berated the audience the other day when I went up on stage, and the way that I start the shows, because I have to start it cold. I just have to get them clapping. So I clap as I'm going on the stage, but like they didn't clap. And I look like a fucking crazy person.
Oh, that's
and I just swore. Damn it.
Oh, that's all right. I didn't even notice.
I looked like a freaking crazy person.
You referenced the parasitic force that's on the earth, people.
I just looked insane.
Oh no, that's.
And then I started yelling and they slowly started clapping. And then I just stared at this one guy who was not clapping. And I made the mistake. Here's where I made the mistake. I was just gonna. My plan was to just make them. Normally, it'd be like, give it up for the bartender.
Yeah.
Give it up for the show. And yourself 3 max. I never go beyond that.
Yeah.
But in this instance, no one was like clap. Like people were not clapping. They were just kind of like lacklusterly.
Which is a tell. I mean,
and I was like, oh my god, I have a whole hour and a half of show that needs to happen.
That would have been hilarious if you said that.
Okay.
Like, I have a whole hour and a half show.
I kind of
happen. That's going to depend on you clapping, and you're not clapping now.
You're not clapping now.
Yeah.
But I also, that could be funny. Sometimes, though, I do find that it's always better to kind of be sarcastic in a positive as opposed to sarcastic in a negative.
I like this idea.
Because it kind of like, it's a way of almost like baiting people to be better.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. Fake it till you make it.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
But I ended up just like zeroing in on a guy. And what my plan was like, okay, well, in that moment, I was like, I'm going to have everyone clap until about just things. I was just going to start naming random things, just pointing at things and have them clap for it. Like, give it up for this plant and give it up for this thing and give it up for this shoe. And now this shoe.
And now this other one. Yeah. So if that happened right now, if you started a show where you're clapping and going on stage and no one clapped, what would you do right now? If that happened?
I would do something similar to like what I did.
Okay.
We had no front row, so I stood on the chairs in the front row.
Yeah. All right, cool.
I got closer to the audience.
Yeah.
I kind of was just like, I'm going to bring everyone in. I'm corralling. I was sort of having to corral. It's crazy to talk about this now because I like just did this unconsciously. Like I just went up there, got a little upset when people didn't clap, and then I was just like, all right, well, I guess this is how I'm going to start my set.
Yeah.
I guess I was gauging where people were at, and I went up 3. I didn't go crazy. I didn't like scream at them.
Yeah.
But I brought them in. But then I did say, I'm like, I'm just going to make you guys clap for stuff until this guy right here.
Yeah.
Claps. And then immediately.
Oh, good.
Clap from him, little chuckle. Everyone kind of chuckled, laughed.
I like that.
And then I had it. I was like, okay,
yeah.
Show.
Cool.
It's like in that moment, as soon as I got everyone clapping, and cheering a little bit, I was like,
great.
All right, we're here.
Yeah,
let's go.
Totally.
And then it proceeded to disappoint them. No.
Oh my god.
The rest of the stuff that I had to say.
Oh my gosh.
No,
that was great.
It was fun. But
here's my worst way to open.
Yeah, what's your worst way?
So I was walking out on stage at this other show in front of this other audience that wasn't you. If someone did that, I'd be like, Jesus Christ.
Well, the funny thing is like we've gotten to this point with our comedy where it's almost an impulse where like this is where I noticed that I had leveled up, was when I was trying to retell somebody else's joke to like Eliza or you.
Yeah.
And I was making it funny just by me just putting it through my film. And I was just I kept having to be like, no, they didn't say that. But that would be, now the joke's fun. Like I was fixing it.
Yeah, you told it in your voice or
in my voice. Yeah, because I'm bad at remembering. I'm bad at remembering stuff, but I still made it funny with my energy.
Yeah, yeah.
And even just now, you're like, what's the worst way? Like even yours, that would be so funny. Like, oh, and now we're doing the thing of like,
I'll try it.
No, yeah. I know the worst way. And I don't want to end the podcast on this, so we're gonna have to go a little longer.
All right.
So that school shooting that just happened, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Can we start this off with I'm gonna pass around some candles.
Oh yeah.
And we're gonna just have a moment of silence. Instead of clapping, can we just do moments of silence for that shooting that just happened?
Just lead everyone the furthest away from enjoying themselves as you can. Yeah.
Get really quiet for this next comedian that's coming to the stage.
Yeah, I want you to think about that family member that is excluded you from all the family functions and love. And I want you to put that energy up for your next comic. Right. Yeah.
Oh God! Like saying something really sad, and then
yeah.
Can we get 10 seconds of silence as the next comedian comes up to the stage?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I just got my diagnosis. I got a voicemail backstage. It's cancer. Your next comic is Bjorn RG.
Your next comic, a lot funnier than me. You're gonna probably live a lot longer than me too.
Yeah.
That'd be the worst. That would be the worst idea.
Yeah.
I think. But what's wrong with me where I'm just like, okay. But then see any of these ideas start to be like, okay, how do you make it work?
How would you make it work? Yeah.
Like, how do you? And it would be kind of the way that I just did it, because it would just be like so inappropriate.
Yeah. Inappropriate.
Oh, nice. Anyways, no, probably wouldn't work. I would probably not go for that, but
yeah,
that would be the worst.
Yeah,
worst way to.
You bought all the candles. You're backstage lighting them all. Like, I'm doing this. I'm doing this. Yeah,
just take one and pass it on.
Yeah,
we're gonna do a moment of silence. It'd be funny to do that, like set it all up as a moment of silence, and then save for something like that's not sad.
Oh yeah.
Like, let's take a moment of silence for my dog that is very alive.
Yeah, yeah. Just learned a new trick.
Learned a new trick.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't quite work though. It
doesn't
quite work.
Which I like that it's like the worst way to open a show is to never pay off. To set things up and never pay off. Maybe.
Oh, just
like that. Let's all have a moment of silence for something that's great.
It's not. Yeah, there'd be no payoff. I guess you could just set up jokes and not.
Yeah, like the equivalent of like turning your car wheel to the left and making an infinite left turn at a reasonable speed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
this was fun.
It was.
I took it. I think I won.
All right.
By killing the energy. As soon as I thought of it, I was like,
oh, nice. All right. I thought you were rating our list of 5.
But our list of 5 is dope, and I'm
stoked, it's great
on this show, and I want to keep doing it.
Me too.
And a great way to keep the show going is to like, subscribe, follow on probably YouTube, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts.
Yeah.
And we're gonna do new episodes every week.
Totally.
I haven't decided what day that I want to release them yet. But
yeah.
It's going to be fun. All right. Thanks, guys.
Later.
Bye.
I tell you, people, I'm on a different level.
Adios, muchachos.